What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the show here at the downtown offices of the Long Beach Post.
We're the 562.org. He's JJ, I'm Mike, and last week on the show we talked to you about two really big games that lived up to the hype.
That's right, Long Beach basketball season coming to a close this week, but not without another championship. The Wilson girls basketball team made history by winning the first CIF title in 20 years, and they did it in old school Long Beach fashion with defense and heart.
Yeah, I mean, we'd just love to see what these Wilson girls did down in the Division 3A playoffs. Samaya Terry really took over that game. Love to see a story like that. A senior, the student body president at Wilson. Both of her parents went to Wilson and played sports. It's incredible. So we love seeing this kind of stuff, especially when it ends in a championship.
She started the game well. She actually got them out of the doldrums in the first quarter to keep them in the game. And then she made the big plays down the stretch in the fourth and then in overtime. Oh yeah, by the way, this was an overtime championship game, as if these playoffs don't already feel like Game 7 every time they hit the floor. Those last 5 minutes at Godinez High School were absolutely lit. And like we said, it was the gritty personality and performance from these Bruins that carried them through the playoffs and then got them this historic title.
They were not the only basketball team that's still kicking. The Wilson girls, the St. Anthony boys, and the Long Beach Poly girls all qualified for the state playoffs. The Wilson girls and St. Anthony boys are out, but the Poly girls are still kicking in the open division.
The other matchup that we previewed last week on the show was the Dirtbags taking on number 6 Mississippi State at Bull Diamond at Blair Field last weekend, and it did not disappoint. The Dirtbags now up to number 17 in the nation after taking that series from the Bulldogs. The biggest thing coming out of there is this is just a lot of fun. These kids are having a lot of fun, and they're playing an aggressive style of baseball that is great to see.
Well, I mean, if you're a longtime Dirtbags fan, the 1-0 games are fun, sure, but it's really nice to see a team hitting home runs and scoring and being a lot more just aggressive on offense.
We've got to shout out Friday night starter Adam Seminaris, who missed the weekend against Wake Forest because of a violation of team rules, and then he comes back and absolutely deals on Friday night against the Bulldogs. The junior lefty threw 77 of his 102 pitches for strikes while throwing 8 scoreless innings, striking out 10, and only giving up 1 hit and 2 walks. For a first-year coach like Eric Valenzuela to be able to send a message to his team that no matter who you are, if you break the rules, you pay the price, and then that guy comes back and performs like that for you, I mean, this is the stuff that dreams are made of if you're trying to change the culture of a program.
Yeah, and it's obvious that he's doing that. Everyone's winning awards. Adam Seminaris, the Big West Player of the Week. Connor Cox, the Big West Player of the Week. Dirtbags, number 17 in the country. And the good news is they'll be back home again this weekend at Bull Diamond at Blair Field if you haven't gotten a chance to catch them yet.
We were talking about this on our weekly podcast called What Up Long Beach, about how the basketball season is coming to a close this week and the spring sports are kind of taking over. On Tuesday, I was at Lakewood where the Wilson Bruins came up with a huge victory over the Lancers to kick off Moore League softball play. Junior pitcher Haley Houston and freshman catcher Juliana JJ Babor led the way. Houston had 11 strikeouts, and Babor, no big deal, just had 2 home runs in her Moore League debut. That freshman is special. Houston has got some nasty stuff. That rise ball is almost unhittable. And with Milliken edging Long Beach Poly on the other side of town on Tuesday in other Moore League action, I got a feeling we are in for an interesting softball year here in Long Beach.
I'm just jealous there's no softball players named Mike. I mean, it's not equitable. Congrats as well to the St. Anthony softball team, off to an 8-0 start, led by Tiare Jennings, the Oklahoma commit and All-American shortstop. They are 8-0, number 1 in Division 3, definitely in the mix for a CIF championship this season.
Obviously, we'll also have highlights for baseball, track, swim, and all of the other spring sports here in Long Beach. But before we get out of here, we've got to do our play of the week, and we're going to go back to that Wilson Girls Basketball Championship win because, yeah, it was a big one. And this play from Samaya Terry, look at the stop, pop, drop at the top of the key. That is just nasty, almost unguardable.
Well, and sure enough, gets them a CIF championship. Definitely play of the week, maybe play of the year for girls basketball.
That's it for this week's episode of the show. Make sure you come back next week for another 5-minute video rundown of the top Long Beach sports stories. Hit the Long Beach Post for our weekly high school and college notebooks. And for all of your other local sports coverage, get to the 562.org.